have the case heard as a hate crime instead of a 4th degree misdemeanor, and I want to make sure that the crime is charged as a man's crime and not a woman's. Those are my 2 biggest things that I care about.
So your concerns are inside the courtroom?
Yes, yeah. Out here was just to get make a little bit of noise and show people what's going on. And because these women are so amazing, and I just want to say that, Sovereign Women Speak, when I founded it, it wasn't based on radical. It was based on radical feminists. I'm a radical feminist. However, Sovereign Women Speak is composed of those from the left, those from the right, the Democrats. We have, lesbians, bisexual, straight women. We have Christians. We have atheists. We have spiritual women. We have maidens, mothers, queens, and crones. We come from all different backgrounds. We don't do purity politics. If you are in the fight to protect women and children from transgender,
I'd love to.
The transgenderism cult of mutilating and sterilizing children and putting men in women's prisons. I don't care what your background is. Come join us. We are here in Tacoma, and we have open arms for all women that are in this fight together.
I see that your arms are full right now. Do you want to share with everyone anything about why your arms are full?
Well, I have a new grandbaby. Her name is Isabella. She's almost 3 months old, and I'm keeping her warm and safe.
I wanted to also ask April, is this the same Judge Henke, is it?
Yes.
And is this, and I believe, is it room 234?
It is room 234. The hearing's at 10:30.
Okay, we are going to try, to have a watch party of that, because I believe the court does their own live stream. So thank you for being out there today, Jess. We really appreciate you standing up for April, and I know Jess has been at a bunch of protests against the Seattle Children's Clinic. I've stood up with him there, protesting child mutilation, and you have just been a warrior on behalf of women, so thank you for being out there today.
Yeah, well, there was those good times up in Port Townsend as well. Don't forget that.
Of course, the mayhem of Port Townsend.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, so, it feels good to be here. Nice turnout, and hopefully this guy will get charged appropriately, because I think attacking TERFs definitely is it's violence against a class of people. It's a violence against women, and that needs to be recognized as a hate crime that it is.
So what happened?
So apparently it was not charged as a hate crime.
Of course not.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Didn't show.
He didn't show?
Nope.
If he didn't show, then he's automatically guilty, and it should be a hate crime, and that's bullshit.
The next trial, I think, is June 20th.
Well, my friend was saying she's in Philly, and she said that would be a contempt of court.
Yeah.
If you don't show up. But here they're just like,
get all your
whatever.
guys' names.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan. Because Washington State is provides for the criminals. It's the only people they care about is only criminals. So.
Could you summarize real quickly what happened along with your
Sure, absolutely. So when we went in to sit down, the prosecuting attorney asked to speak to me, and we went outside to talk, and my first question was, of course, about the hate crime, and they did take it up to the 10th floor and try to get this moved to a hate crime, and they would not. So it's being tried as a 4th degree misdemeanor. And they set the next hearing for the 1st of June, and then they set the trial date for the 20th of June.
So what's the distinction between those? And I heard also that they needed to charge it as a technicality or as a hate crime in the jury one, or how is that?
That's what I'm still a little bit confused about, and I have questions about, and I told him I'm not done with this. I am not accepting that this is not a hate crime. You need to let me know what I need to do to push this further to get this to be a hate crime, and he said we would talk afterwards. So I'm going to call him when I get home and get that information from him. because I'm not letting this go.
Can you tell everybody why it would be considered a hate crime, or why you consider it a hate crime?
Well, I consider it a hate crime anytime a woman goes out into public to speak about the violence that males bring upon us for speaking in public. And there we are. I mean, the irony, right? We're out there speaking in public about male violence, and what happens? Male violence. So why did Elijah Lane come after me and harm me? Was it because he liked me? No, these people hate us with a passion. I mean, if you look on Facebook, if you look on Twitter, there are so many threats against TERFs. Punch a TERF, kill a TERF, spit on a TERF, do whatever you want to a TERF, blow them up. Yeah, they hate us. And it's all coming out. I mean, they know it's a hate crime. It's just a matter of, probably something technicality, right, with the laws or whatever, of getting it pushed forward.
One more thing, also with regards to the boy or guy responsible for breaking your wrist,
Mr. Elijah Lane.
Was there anything added by your lawyer via the other guy's lawyer regarding what their situation is now, or if they even know what's going on with them?
Not sure.
I mean, did they actually have any clue where they may have gone to, or if they're even going to follow up on the next trial, or the next?
Oh, since he didn't appear.
And if he's actually not likely to be escalated as a case if he wanted to retaliate or anything in light of all this. Never know.
Yeah, I'm not really not sure. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not sure. Did anybody? No.
I can tell you this though, if you would have broke a transgender's hand, it would have been a hate crime on you. You better believe that you would be arrested, they would put you in jail, and you would be charged with a hate crime. But because
and then they'd stick the men in the prison
with the women,
and
now Inslee got 30,000 pills, abortion pills, and he's forcing Departments of Correction to disperse them through Department of Correction. How are women getting pregnant in prison, people?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's
Guard.
not
Thank
likely.
you for letting me know that.
Yeah,
I did not know
he's not likely
that.
to go to prison, but if he
Inslee
did,
is passing out
put him-
abortion pills to the prison? How come the women in the prison haven't told me this? I talk to them regularly. Wow, I'm blown away.
he's not likely to go to prison, but if he does,
It is. He just.
we're just putting him in with the women.
Okay.
Last night where
I was going to say, this has got to be new.
30,000
Wow.
pills, they're going to make that they're forcing Department of Corrections to disperse, dispense, and give out to the inmates in prison, in the jails. And like I said,
They can't. That's like a human rights violation.
exactly. Well, if they want it, I guess that they could take it. But my problem is how are women getting pregnant in jail? It's not the guards this time. It's the transgenders that they're putting in jail, and they're raping the women, and nobody cares because it's a fantasy world that they're all living in. Transgender humans are not real. They're mentally sick, and they need help.
They aren't raping. They're terrorizing.
Terrorizing.
Those
And
women
killing.
inside that prison are terrorized.
And look, I get that the women have all done bad things to be in prison, but it doesn't mean they don't get to be treated right while they're in there. Yes, it's very cruel.
Exactly. And most of the women that are in prison are in there because of patriarchy, male violence. Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
To kill someone because
They stood up for themselves.
Exactly. Sad. Very sad. All right.
Can you tell everybody like what happened exactly that brought you here today? Like what happened when you got your hand?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. October 26th, I was at the Tolson Plaza in Tacoma, right down the street here with Kellie-Jay Keen, with her Let Women Speak tour that I organized, and I was there to film and video what was taking place. I was there to give a speech about the men that are in the women's prisons, and I was there to support women. And what happened was it got very violent, and all of these people and kids from the school surrounded us in a big mob fashion, and we got to the point where it was obvious that we needed to leave because the violence had escalated to that point where we needed to go.
They were surrounding us.
We were totally surrounded, and I went to try to grab my things, and as I did, Elijah Lane and his accomplice, who has not been mentioned or charged, and it's all in the video, running off, right? They attacked me. I was filming with my extension rod with my phone on it, and I saw the hand come over and him trying to grab it, and I took my hand up and tried to beat him to get it before he did, and that's when he put his hand over the top of mine and crushed it, and then I yelped out a big, huge, blood-curdling scream, and my phone fell to the ground, and we both raced down to get it, and when we raced down to get it, that's when I got shoved down to the ground, and I believe by his accomplice.
Yeah, show them your hand.
Well,
How much you used to be
yeah,
able to
at
bend
one
it.
point it actually would only bend to about right here. After about 2 months of occupational therapy, I'm able to get it down to about right there. So it is healing. It's probably still going to take another 9 to 12 months, and it's never going to be the same as it was. What else happened that day? Oh, she got hit in the head with a water bottle. Our women got spit on.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. They were throwing lots of
Oh,
stuff
oh
at us.
yeah. Yes, and they were coming after, even though we were trying to leave, they were all coming after us with their intimidation, yelling and
Yeah,
screaming
they
at
followed
us,
us up the hill.
gaslighting, turning everything around, saying we're the haters, we're the violent people, what they do every time.
Was there a police presence at all?
You know, I went and talked to the chief of police the very next day because I was irate, because I was told that I was going to have police protection and that the Tacoma Police Department would be there. So the very next day at Starbucks, all the Tacoma police were there, and so I came in and said, "Where's the chief? I need to talk to the chief." And he was behind the Starbucks counter, and I was, and he was like, "Whoa, let's go over here and talk." He didn't want everybody knowing, and so I chewed that chief of police out for not protecting all of us women and not having police officers there. And then he said, "Well, we did have police officers there undercover."
They were kind of by the outskirts of the crowd. They were just kind of moseying.
Partake in the melee because a lot of times
I kind of feel like they just. I kind of feel like they just watched.
Yes, they did. So they stood around and watched all this. They didn't call their co-workers, their colleagues, the other, police officers to tell them about the violence. They just sat there and watched it all. And then somebody sent me an article on the Tacoma Chief of Police and his report that he put in for the year of all of the violence in Tacoma, and he underplayed it all, and he got busted and he got called out. So our Chief of Police here in Tacoma is trying to downplay and minimize the crime that's taking place here in Tacoma. Yes, and that is why they wrote this up as a 4th-degree misdemeanor instead of the hate crime it is. I'm very happy and thankful that everybody's here to support me, but yeah, I'm pretty disappointed that the prosecuting attorney said that they are not moving it to a hate crime, and he was even using female pronouns, and I was stopping. It's really hard. No, the prosecuting attorney. Yeah, the prosecutor. Yes. Yes, and as he did that, I told him, I said, that's another thing that I want to make sure that this does not be recorded as a crime from a woman. This is a man that did this to me, and it needs to be recorded. And I said, it's very confusing to hear you referring to him as a her, and he said that, he has to do that to, and I said, well, I told him, I said, I won't, I refuse to. I said, I'm going to stick with reality, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to perjure. So if you want me to get up and talk and say anything, I refuse to use female pronouns for a man. Right.